Hello everyone, welcome to my The Way Home official channel. I hope everyone is having a great day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. An old friend makes a surprise appearance in the upcoming episode of Hallmark Channel's The Way Home, forcing Alice to accept the loss of her relationship. Adolescence is a challenging time. Try, though, being a teenager in two distinct timelines. In The Way Home, Alice is battling with that issue. The protagonist has learned that she is capable of traveling back in time to the late 1990s. She meets and befriends a teenage cat, who is a reincarnation of her mother, and she also develops feelings for a boy named Nick while visiting the past. However, Alice lives in the present as well. She's also having trouble balancing her life in the right chronology with her previous connection with Nick. In the upcoming episode of The Way Home, which premieres on March 12, everything comes to a head. The Way Home's upcoming episode features Alice getting back together with a former buddy. Although Alice possesses the capacity to travel through time, she has no control over when she will appear in the past. She is constantly transported back to 1999 by the pond on her grandmother's farm, but it frequently moves forward in time. Alice will realize that she has been gone for several months in the past, even if it seems like only a day or two have passed in the present. She has been able to justify her strange absences thus far. Nick, though, is now ready to formalize their relationship in order to see her more frequently. In the March 5 episode of The Way Home, Nick proposed to Alice when they were at a Y2K New Year's Eve party. She nodded cheerfully, but that didn't make it any less uncertain for her as to when she may be able to see him again. One more major issue. It is hard for them to be in a relationship because Nick is an adult when Alice truly belongs in that era. Alice has been making an effort to conceal the truth about her connection with Nick thus far. However, a preview for the upcoming episode, Loveful, implies she may have a harsh awakening. When an old friend shows up in Port Haven for a visit, Alice realizes her relationship has no future and makes a difficult decision. Reads the Hallmark episode synopsis. Additionally, a teaser features Elliot conversing with a man who appears to be an older Nick. Nick and Alice's romance is doomed to fail. It's fairly obvious from Hallmark's description that teenage Alice and adult Nick will cross paths in the present. A few episodes ago, Nick, who is no longer a resident of Port Haven, did not show up for the party commemorating the closing of his parents' movie theater, which greatly devastated Alice. It sounds like she will eventually get to meet her crush's older version, but things don't appear to be going as planned. Alice's science instructor, Elliot, is among the few individuals who are aware of her time-traveling abilities. Alice has previously received his warning that, for obvious reasons, she and Nick cannot be in a relationship right now. Alice dismissed her worries, stating that she wished to at least meet Nick as an adult and get a sense of his personality. Nick is old enough in the current timeline to be Alice's father. It would be very wrong for them to be romantically involved. We assume Alice will recognize that when she sees adult Nick. Then she'll break up with teenage Nick on her subsequent voyage back in time. Given the ick factor associated with a potential relationship between an adult man and a teenage girl, it seems unlikely that Hallmark will want to extend this scenario too far. What more can we anticipate from the upcoming Hallmark Channel episode? The Way Home's upcoming episode has a number of characters with a lot going on besides Alice. When adult Kat goes back in time, she learns more about how her parents Del and Colton were impacted by the abduction of her younger brother Jacob. She learns that her father might not have cheated on her mother, and that their relationship may not have been the fairy tale romance she had imagined. Meanwhile, Kat travels back to 2000 in search of answers when Del makes a startling discovery in the present. Actress Andie MacDowell recently announced that her character, family matriarch Del Landry, would fearlessly navigate a new romance in the second season of Hallmark's smash series, The Way Home. MacDowell, though, has no intention of following in her footsteps. The twice-divorced actress, 65, said in an interview that aired on January 24, 2024 on The Drew Barrymore Show, that she had lost interest in dating and that people finally gave up pestering her about it. "It's okay to be single," McDowell said, adding that she would prefer to develop her relationships with women and that the majority of the males in her life are gay on design. What you should know is as follows. According to Andie McDowell, the majority of people no longer inquire as to whether she is dating. When 48-year-old Drew Barrymore asked 65-year-old McDowell if she was dating anyone during their conversation on the couch of The Drew Barrymore Show, both women said they were so single. Next, McDowell remarked, "Yes, but you should go on dates." "No, I don't." Barrymore pressed McDowell to clarify, to which he replied, "You're young, you know. I hate to tell you that as you get older, you just don't care as much, so you should do it now." According to Today, McDowell has been married twice. From 2001 to 2004, he was married to businessman Rhett Hartzog, and from 1986 to 1999, he was married to former model Paul Qualley. She and Qualley have 3 adult children together, son Paul, daughters Margaret and Rainey. McDowell said to Barrymore that she had received innumerable inquiries concerning her romantic history since her divorces. She even consented to test out a dating app in early 2023. But now that she's been unmarried for a long time, she claims that most inquiries have finally stopped. "I became extremely exhausted. Individuals eventually gave up since they would constantly ask, 'So, is there a man?'" Rolling her eyes, McDowell said, "I was just like, you know. Years and years pass, and eventually no one asks questions anymore. Therefore, it's good that they no longer inquire." When McDowell appeared on James Corden's Late Late Show in January 2023, she said that her daughters had been urging her to download the dating app Raya and that she had decided to do so ASAP. McDowell was even assisted by Corden and Billy Porter, his other guest, in taking a picture for the app's profile. McDowell appears to have had a change of heart, though, and decided that she is content being alone. McDowell said to Barrymore, "You know, we've had such evolution as human beings. I do believe that being single has no negative aspects. Really, in addition to having wonderful male pals, I also have some wonderful female friends." McDowell said that she believes that men and women can be friends at a certain age in response to Barrymore's question, but that practically all of her acquaintances are either women or homosexual men. McDowell beamingly said, "I love a gay man. I make a great effort to surround myself with as many gay males as possible, because they are still males, but you know, the sexual aspect is not a concern. That kind of manly behavior doesn't exist, whatever occurs. And they do, in fact, nurture you," McDowell went on. "What I love about gay men is that they nurture you." In the second season, Andie McDowell's character from The Way Home will have another romance. While McDowell herself may not be seeking love, her character on The Way Home, the matriarch Del Landry, has been, and there will be a new romance in the upcoming second season, which debuted on January 21. A brief romance occurred in the previous season. In order for McDowell to feel authentic in her role as an older woman navigating relationships, she was able to provide the production crew some perspective, she told the Boston Herald. "I worked with writer-creators who were really honest about how I felt about the things my character did," the spokesperson stated. "I'm really grateful. That isn't always the case." She went on, "It's really important because I have to be this person. And since I am this age, I am aware of the difficulties that come with having to be in a romantic relationship at this time in life. It's not at all like it was when you were younger." Although a fresh blooming romance in the second season will have its own special moments, McDowell told the Boston Globe that Del's romance in the first season had some real humor with how I got disengaged from that man and how it didn't pan out. She remarked, "With another man this year, I do something really unconventional for someone my age, but I won't tell you what it is. Although it's a little risky for Hallmark, no one will find it offensive. I adore it because it gave me the opportunity to represent a vibrant, robust, and powerful 65-year-old woman. I was appreciative of these authors for providing me with that chance. It's possible that McDowell was discussing a virtually nude skinny dipping scene, which she just said will occur this season and is a first for Hallmark Channel. "Although I'm wearing my underwear," she said to Today, "I thought it was pretty brave for Hallmark to do, or anybody with a 65-year-old woman, and I really enjoyed playing it." The narrative will mostly focus on what transpired with Jacob. Can you really be that surprised, considering this was the cliffhanger at the end of the first half of the season? Alice seemed to be the most eager of them to make one more journey after Kat, and she'd jump into the pond. The Way Home does demonstrate that time travel can occasionally be advantageous, particularly in terms of improving interpersonal relationships and mutual understanding. However, there may also be some serious issues associated with it, some of which will be thoroughly examined in the forthcoming episodes. Naturally, we are aware that Chyla Leigh's character will face some threats practically right away in Season 2, but part of the fun will be exploring some of those. Above all, this show takes chances and is clever and creative. When it comes to a series like this one on the Hallmark Channel, which usually has a rather precise format in which they choose to present some of their stories, there's really not much more that we could ask for. This is unique, and that's undoubtedly a large part of the fun. All we need to do now is bide our time until we can see everything that is in store. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and don't miss any updates.